2025 for TV. I like to ask you guys, start things off, how you felt about the last year in a particular format. I don't know if you have any big takeaways from the last year of TV that we got. Looking up and down your list, are there any unifying aspects, any commonalities that you see?
Yeah, I thought I had one Netflix show, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other shows became Netflix shows before the end of the year. Zach, that's what happened.
Damn.
I feel like I'm usually on here talking about, Netflix, it's the powerful TV dominating force, but the quality isn't there. And they had some quality this year. I gotta give them that.
I mean more that it's all my HBO shows are now Netflix shows to a degree, unless they get bought by Paramount.
Well, yeah. Once that
fair.
goes through, it's over. They'll be dominating both the TV list and the movies list. But they put out some decent to good stuff this year. Still not in my top 5. Actually, maybe even in my top 5.
I don't think any of these are Netflix shows for me.
Nah?
No.
Off the flicks?
I think so. All of them except one in my extended are Netflix.
Yeah, the vast majority of mine are probably under the big HBO Max banner, but we'll see how long that stays that way. Lots of shifting things in the entertainment landscape, including our favorites here on the Best TV of 2025 countdown for the Intercut podcast channel. I'm, of course, your co-host, Zachary Shevich, with Arturo Zurita and Amanda the Jedi. We're losing days. It's not a lot left on the 2025 calendar year, so we've got to take stock of what we've seen and get into the countdowns once again. These are the top 10 best TV shows of the past year, the last Zach. Calendar
2025
year.
We got to tell them these are the best 10,
the best.
sir.
The
best
10.
of the year.
Some of them aren't even done yet.
Yeah.
But they're the best.
Oh, how many of your shows are not done yet? I've only got one here that's still ongoing.
Only one.
Yeah, mine's still on season 1. I don't know how the finale will be.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
we're just hoping
that is
for
something
the best.
I noticed. I have very few returning shows on my list overall. For the most part, they are shows in their first season that will come back, but it's that that fresh out the gate feeling that's dominating for me.
Right.
So they're screwed for season 2. They're not coming back on the list.
No. If trends hold, I'm gonna have like maybe 2 of these shows on my list next year.
Right.
How about either of you? Are you mostly into the recurring? Do you have any miniseries? I've only got one miniseries in my top 10.
I have an anthology series, if you want to count that, but I don't know how I'm seeing that anymore. I think one is a miniseries.
I think one might be a miniseries. Otherwise, I do have 2 miniseries in my, maybe 3 miniseries in my, just didn't make the list.
Yeah, so we'll see what that smattering of selections holds in a little bit. We'll talk about the best TV of 2025, but first make sure you subscribe to the Intercut podcast, either the video podcast on youtube.com/intercutpod or the audio podcast available on most podcatchers. Also follow Intercut across social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are at IntercutPod. That's Intercut POD, and that's short for podcast. I didn't say TikTok in there. We're on TikTok. We got some shorts, some reels going on there. So if you're a TikTok person, we're on there as well. Intercut Pod as well on Patreon, where you can support the show for as little as $3 a month, as well as clicking the join button below this video to become a member through YouTube. That's a great way to support the show. Another great way to support the show is leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, because if we get to 250 5-star reviews on Apple, we're going to have a whole lot more TV to talk about on this podcast. Just keep on talking about stuff.
We have to add a show to our watch list every review that comes in. That's what Zach's scientifically breaking down. That's
exactly.
That tracks.
And it has to be an Apple TV show. That's what sucks. You leave them on Apple, it's got to be an Apple show. So we will finish Loop.
Maybe if we get to 255-star reviews, we'll review the Jessica Chastain show that they pulled.
Oh, the one that's not out?
Yeah. Which we
we'll
still have access to.
We'll all disappear one day after. Damn.
All right, let's not waste any time. I'll kick us off with my number 10 show of the year. It's a show that I think we've talked about a lot, and maybe it'll show up on either of your lists as well. I'm going Hacks, Season 4 in my number 10 slot. Wow. The ever reliable show on HBO about a pair of comedians, one older, one younger, Deborah Vance and Ava Daniels, played by Gene Smart and Hannah Einbender, and their ongoing, developing relationship, which has, over the years, morphed from star and assistant to kind of comedy co-conspirators. And this season was a really fun one involving Deborah Vance's late night TV show and Ava being named head writer, and the dynamics between them, which were at their lowest point in the history of the show. So you got a lot of really fun contentiousness between the characters. I think it allowed them to sort of be at their best and show a maybe meaner side to that dynamic than we've ever seen. But also it led to a lot of sweetness towards the back half of the season as they started to reconcile with one another and become teammates again. And it's always been fun watching the ups and downs of their relationship. This is, I think, some of the best stuff Hacks has done so far, and particularly the penultimate episode of the 4th season was excellent stuff. Yeah. I'm still really enjoying the show. I'm excited for another season. It might not be as like fresh and peppy as it was in its earlier seasons, but they're still killing it and they're still making me laugh.
We'll talk about it a little bit later as well. I think they're always on their game. Funny part is they had an episode this season called I Love LA. Kind of competes with it, I'd say.
Yeah,
if you're talking about LA shows,
setting the table for another
business,
show.
Yeah. So, no, Hacks will come back up. Tends to be Zach and I's go-to, especially in the top.
Definitely. What did make number 10 on your list, Arturo?
Hey, this one's been jumping around for a second. This was going to be the one that was going to be on the chopping block, and I couldn't find myself to bump it, even with an aforementioned HBO one that isn't wrapped yet. So I had to keep White Lotus season 3. It's just the characters, man. Every single season they come up with something where you are just enthralled by these characters. Someone does a parody and they're yelling, what did she say? My Laxapro, my
lorazepam.
My lorazepam. These characters are so fully realized and fleshed out. You just know who they are, even when it's actors who are doing things that you've seen them do in other projects, but they're not doing that White Lotus bit. They're already casting for next season, and I'm just as excited. You have a show where it's like they're almost connected, kind of not connected, but each one gets you excited for the new spin that they're going to do. Kind of like what you mentioned in Hacks. Their dynamic changes every time. Well, here you literally have cast changes with, minute little characters that kind of weave in and out to make things kind of interconnected between all three. But it's just that you know what the scenario is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Rich people at a hotel doing shenanigans. And it is fantastic. I mean, you had cameos in this on the phone that people were recognizing, but they never showed their faces.
So good.
A lot of shows or movies try to do the big K-pop jump-ins. They weren't as distracting here. And just everyone all around. Like, you can talk about so many characters, and we're still not getting to Carrie Coon and the group of women who probably had one of the best monologues to each other.
Yeah.
At the end, so really good stuff.
Higher on mine. We'll be talking about it again.
Hey, beautiful. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Do you remember?
I love it.
Did you have the other two on? Because I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
Has White
yeah.
Lotus made every single one?
I think
Has
so.
to.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
with the
There's
change
no
of the
shot.
song, which I think was the most controversial.
And then,
part
like,
this-
I came around on it, and I was like, you know what?
And then everybody, right? They just said, wait. We got you with the first two. Please just trust us. Yeah. Had to be so. At number 10, right at the cusp of it, but I couldn't let it go.
Nice. I get it.
Yeah, down from number 8 on your mid-year. But yeah, White Lotus, it didn't make my list, but it is still just a show that I'm always thankful is on, and thankful that they keep trying stuff. They have that anthology thing so that makes it relatively fresh, even when some aspects of it are really familiar. So even if like you might not love one season versus the next, you know that the next season has just as good of a chance of being something you'll enjoy. So we'll see how high White Lotus season 4 ends up on all our lists, and how high Amanda has White Lotus on hers this year.
Decently
I'm assuming
high.
it's not at number 10, but
It's
Amanda,
not at number 10.
what do you have at number 10?
We hinted at it a little bit earlier. I'm going to go with I Love LA. It wrapped up last night.
Nice.
Wait, that was it?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm so glad they had already confirmed that there's another season, because it ends before what should have been the climax.
No,
So
that's
it's-
a penultimate episode if I've ever seen one.
I know. So I'm wondering if like they really have season 2 in the bag to like drop pretty soon, maybe, hopefully, because like
Whoa, what?
yes, that was it. It was the season finale last night. So I am including
Things were not wrapped.
No,
No.
I know. So it is the ultimate, like, okay, at least now we know there's another season. I trust Rachel's writing and her comedy. Not everything about the show completely works, but for the most part, I think it's really good. It's like everybody's been saying, but Zach really pointed out. Everybody wanted to say it was like Girls, and even when I was the only one who saw it, I was like, wouldn't say fully like Girls. It is Entourage. It's like, it's Entourage girlies, you know? But there's just so many moments that, like, I'm sorry, it's like, I love lesbians. I wish I was one, you know? It's just like iconic comedy moments. And then it also feels like it relates so much to Rachel Sennett when like the whole world found out not only is she not Jewish, she's not even bisexual. Yeah. So it's like
She's been running those, yeah. She's like, I could just get away with it. Almost like looking at the camera like, I read them.
You know, Emma Seligman was all like, you look enough like me, you can be me. So
you
go.
Can be me.
But
I'm waiting for a Fatima character to just appear for no reason whatsoever.
Give it time. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I like the character dynamics. This last episode was so chaotic. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see. I think it's also really relevant to like maybe the changing landscape of how like we're kind of living in like the Me Too post Weinstein, but all that stuff still exists in certain ways. But it's like the ways people get around it now for it to feel different and more level. So I think it's interesting. I also understand why some people hate it, especially I know some people that live in LA are like, well, that's not, I get it. I can get where the complaints come from all around the board.
Well, what are the complaints? Because is it like a La La Land where it's like, well, yeah, it's fantastical, or is it like, I don't like seeing a version of my friends that I've seen up on screen?
It's probably some of that, but some of it I think is we don't like it when LA transplants complain about LA transplants, even though they're being open about the show. Like Rachel is a transplant there. So it's like, but that is like a culture there. And I think they're telling it very, very realistically. Yeah. I've met a lot of people like that. I've seen a lot of people like that. Yeah. We've seen some people like that get their shit rocked recently in the news, physically. So yeah, I think it's like pretty accurate. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit dramatized because it's a show, it's a comedy, but it's still like, you know.
It's funny. The friend, the gay guy who's like the stylist, he got in trouble for making making fun of the heated rivalry show, going, transplants in Toronto, you guys don't make out like us here. And then they're going, well, you're the transplant. So that is pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
It is funny.
But it's also what makes it so good.
It is, exactly. You know, it's like, it is a lot of people that are the things they're making fun of. Being those things.
Ironically enough, even though it's not that similar to Girls, I think it is falling victim to a similar complaint where people saw the title of Girls and they're like, well, this isn't like the girls that I know. And people see the title, I Love LA, and they're like, this isn't like the LA that I know. It's like, no, it's her LA. It's Lena Dunham's Girls. And speaking back to that Entourage comparison we were talking about, it is interesting to see sort of the general structure framing of Entourage transplanted to the story of like an aspiring model influencer. And it is weird because it is a different dynamic. It is a more hyper online Gen Z dynamic, but I think they're clearly like, it's a lived in version of LA, even if it isn't, it's like a transplants version of LA. And I think that the show has really been finding its footing as it's gone across these first season episodes. Like the last couple of particularly feel like the comedy's a little bit sharper. The idea of who these characters are and what makes them funny is a little bit sharper. So I would be not surprised at all to see this make like a big quality jump in season 2. But it's still really funny in season 1.
Agreed. All
right, so that brings us right back around to my number 9. And I'm going to go with the recent Netflix miniseries, Death by Lightning. Show
by 11.
It's a really enjoyable show. Only 4 episodes telling the story of the unlikely ascent to the U.S. presidency by James Garfield, as well as his subsequent and relatively brief time in office, followed by an assassination. But I think for me, this is like got a touch of Spielberg's Lincoln, a lot of Conclave, especially in the beginning. And then the thing that really makes it feel a little bit unique and different is there's this kind of like Ingrid Goes West lurker style subplot to it involving the Matthew McFadyen character, aka Tom from Succession, where you see a lot of how a political figure can come to represent an idea and how any kind of failure to live up to that idea is seen as an indictment of the politics, right? I think Michael Shannon is so incredibly watchable in this show. He's got this kind of unexpected wiliness to him where he's so calm at the center of all this squabbling and this pushing for power. He's just got this really cool energy that guides you through the middle. And then the rest of the performances are great as well, whether that's Nick Offerman is kind of his blundering vice president. You have Shea Wiggum here as sort of like a conniving, moneyed Democrat. You have so many good actors, Matthew McFadden, as I mentioned before. It's just a really enjoyable show, and I think it's written really well by Mike Makovsky, who previously did the Hugh Jackman movie Bad Education that we all really like. Really enjoyable show, and for me, I'm not usually into this kind of period drama. I often find them to be a little bit too stuffy and impenetrable for my taste. Didn't find that way to be the way at all. It feels
very
Death by
modern.
Lightning. Very modern.
For what it is.
The writing is a little bit more modern. Like they don't speak that old English style.
Yeah.
So I think it helps for sure, but it also doesn't feel like they've put Gen Z slang into a historical show or anything like that.
Absolutely. Honestly, I even did, like, Marty Supreme says something in that. He's like, "Are you being for real?" And I was like, "Did they say that in 1952?" Like, I gotta know. But yeah, honestly, I really like the show too. It probably should be in my 10, but like, I gotta give my love to Rachel. And there's just more there for it. But like, this is a nice, tight. The thing I appreciate about Netflix for the most part, other than those Ryan Murphy shows, is that if a story can be told in 4, 5, 6 episodes, they'll let that happen. Yeah. Where a lot of other stations, like studios, are just kind of like, well, if we can milk it for 8.
Yeah, we need that runtime.
Yeah, so I really appreciate that. Amazing performances, really interesting little piece of, I didn't know that about American history, so that's very cool. Big fan.
All right, Art, what do you have at number 9?
Number 9, I have probably my only period piece. Netflix's American Primeval. It is a Western that stars Betty Gilpin, who's been on this list before with Netflix when she was doing Glow. Taylor Kitsch, who's been our boy since Friday Night Lights. Like, Dane DeHaan appears from nowhere, so it really feels... I don't know if they consider this a miniseries, that's what I was saying, but it's Peter Berg, who's done a lot of action movies, so seeing him come in here and then put the production value... We're supposed to get 3, 4 Horizon movies. This has replaced it for me, because those Horizon movies ended up being something else completely, and this... feels like what they were pitching. Just people trying to get from one place to another, building these paths and everything that comes along the way, religions, cults, all of these different people during this time. And shot very well. One that survived throughout the year. I will have to watch it again to see maybe if I'd bump it a little bit higher, but I'm a big Western guy, and this was one of the best ones. No movies that really stood out like that were Westerns, unless you count Eddington, but American Primeval, definitely one to add on your horizon. Good acting, good story, and incredible visuals. Some of the best thing Netflix has shot.
Yeah, Netflix killing it with those early American history miniseries, I guess. They
right? We went one for one here. All right, Amanda. Take us back to the 1700s. A vampire one. Come on.
No, we're so far off. We're going Chair Company for number 9.
Hey, you know what? That's so that way. It might as well be.
So that way. I love Tim Robinson. This is him again with the writer and director Andrew DeYoung of Friendship, which is another one of my favorite movies this year that I'm probably going to leave off my top 10 because we've talked about it so many times. And we love shedding. I'll probably cheat. I'll probably tag it onto something else. Because I love it so much.
I've been telling you.
But there's so many good movies this year, but we're not talking about movies. We're talking about Chair Company, which honestly is a show. I still have a couple episodes left because I can't watch it all in one go.
Oh, you need to see that final
line? I'm sure, that's what I mean. I'm sure this will probably end up being higher. This will probably end up being higher when I finish it. I couldn't leave it off the list because I love it so much already, but like, it just hit a point. I'd been like going through a bunch of the episodes yesterday and I was like, I physically can't. I actually can't for a little bit longer. I just need to go to the chaos of Rachel Sennett that is calmer than this and rewatch Ballad of Wallace Island because this is too much for me.
Yeah, it is such a unique show in that it throws you off center so much. Like, it has a Lynchian quality to it in that while like it takes place in a normal reality and you see a lot of seemingly normal people, there are just these sudden jolts of absurdity and abstraction that feel so bizarre in a way that almost scares you, even though it's not a scary show.
It feels eerie.
It feels
really
eerie. Feels deeply eerie.
Usually all the weird stuff's always 100% related to Tim's character. And this, someone will just be like, like he was under a fridge for 2 days before someone found him. And it's like, what do you mean? And it's like not even related. Maybe it will. I don't know. But it's just like all these little things are crazy. The base premise is basically that he's doing very well. He's doing very well at a company. He's about to launch this new mall with his the company he works for, and he goes to sit on a chair and it breaks, and he becomes obsessed with trying to find this company and contact them and do whatever he can to get to them, and it turns just into this crazy web of conspiracy kind of feeling, very similar to Under the Silver Lake, of just the manic level of what's going on. And much like Tim never can, he just can't. Even there's actually a moment in this where I did think he was gonna no, but then they pull him back in, so he just can't stop. It's just really good. It's him at his best. It is Andrew showing that he has more in him than just friendship. I'm a big fan. Chair Company.
And just that feeling that you get when you're trying to hunt down somebody to talk to at some corporation, and you're put through several levels of customer service just to speak to a human. That universal frustrating experience about being alive right now. I've never seen a show articulate that better than The Chair Company. Just his endless pursuit of trying to get an answer to what should be a simple question. It's such good stuff. I have Chair Company at number 8 on my list, so it works out perfectly there.
I had it as an honorable. I liked it too. You got to get to that ending, because I agree with you. It's a horror because you think he's the most absurd person, so it scares you when he's talking to someone and he gets worried.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be. I'm worried about you, bro. What do you mean he's scaring you?
Yeah, there's a scene where some guy, he's like, "Are you watching porn?" He's like, "Just listening to it. Just listening to it."
That's weird. They know how to make it weird. It's inappropriate. They're like, but what if we made it weirder?
Yeah, it's so unsettling when Tim is not the weirdest person in a room. So they know what they're doing.
Zach had said it's like David Lynch for sure. There's this surreal thing, especially because they live so much in the suburbs in regular America. But it's like if everyone was an idiot in a David Lynch movie for whatever reason. Every single person in here. And we haven't even mentioned the goat, bro. There is a whole storyline with his coworkers where this man is dealing with abuse on different levels in this show, to be honest with you.
No, true.
It's good.
It's that bitch.
Yeah, his friend who's his conspirator who's listening to that show Wheezy Wayne's, where the guy is just yelling vulgarities at each other.
It's like, is this a bit? And it's like, no. Wait, who is
the two people yelling are Connor O'Malley and the editor of the show.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, why would it be anything else?
Yes, that's perfect.
Just makes perfect sense.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Chair Company, one of the most singular shows you'll see this year for sure.
Truly.
Amanda's number 9, my number 8. Art, what do you have at number 8 on your list?
I had to get a tie in there. I had to get a tie in there. Look.
Yeah.
I had one of them on there. It was called Adults. I had talked about that one a little bit. It is a Hulu comedy series. It got renewed. So I got some more adult lovers out there. I think it's a little, I'm not going to call it Full Broad City, but that same concept like we're saying with I Love LA. People who are trying to be earnest and trying their best, and they are not these social conscious people that they think they are. They just want to come off like it. And it's a group of friends who all just live together. And I think that the way that they end up leaving it open-ended towards the end is going to change the dynamics of a lot of these characters who all live under one house as they're, pushing their 30s and beyond. But I thought that was very hysterical, really good comedy. It was my first time putting this animation, though, on my list, and I had to. Smiling Friends Season 3, and it comes with the caveat of, look, I understand this is not going to be for everybody, but, this show is hilarious. It is an absurd... this is my take over Chair Company if I had to put something... that you have to pitch to someone and they're going to sit for an episode going, what the hell? But these are 12 minutes long. There's only 8 episodes a season. They just wrapped season 3. And it is a cartoon, I think Adult Swim, of Smiling Friends, the company who gets hired when you're sad. So they hire these people and they have to go make you smile. That is their whole job. And it's never easy. Season 3's opener was Connor O'Malley voicing a guy who looks like a cuckoo clock, but he wants to be taken seriously. They're like, bro, there's absolutely nothing we could do. You look like a joke.
Oh, no.
Hysterical. It's absurd. Funny. It is ridiculous, but it's the way that they mix media that will get you what are we doing here? They'll stop the show. It is beyond something that Deadpool can do in breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, I think I think it's worth even the little bits where you're like, okay, this is getting very weird, very Adult Swimmy. I found a light at the end of the tunnel for most of them, and I finally got Alina hooked. 3 seasons, but we finally got her, boys.
Got her there.
So we're set.
About time.
Smiling Friends, going in there with the tie. Smiling Friends Season 3 and Adult Season 1 on Hulu and HBO Max.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, definitely seeing more and more people talk about Smiling Friends.
It's good.
I'm like right on the verge of giving it a chance.
I've been telling you,
so maybe
yeah.
this will push me over the edge.
I got there at the end of season 1 to 2. Did not put 2 on, but by 3, I got to commit to it, bro. It's
Nice.
goofy. It's goofy.
Nice.
It's my pickle Rick.
Amanda, you're number 8?
My number 8, I'm going to go with the boy Cooper Rafe with Hal Harper.
Hey, great.
You know, just a really nice show, just kind of exploring what like grief and trauma does when you're at your formative ages, developing how everybody really kind of gets stuck in time, but some people have to grow up too fast and other people kind of stunt themselves, and like the dynamics that leads to and how that affects relationships going forward. I think it's really good. I love the creative choice of having him and Lily Reinhart play themselves when they're younger to kind of really like show that idea that they are stunted in time, but simultaneously had to grow up too fast. I think the Mark Ruffalo performance in this is like fantastic. Just like really strong across the board. And I'm really excited that he got the chance to tell a story across a different medium.
He's going back for Sundance.
Yeah, the Jay Duplass movie is going to be at Sundance, so he's not writing and directing something, but he will be there.
Nice.
I'm almost scared. We'll get to our Sundance stuff, but that sounds good. It sounds like a Baltimoreans, but with Cooper Rafe.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that one.
Nice.
But yeah, shout out the boy. I got it as an honorable. It was in 15. I'd probably bump up once I rewatch it.
Nice.
If I had Mubi again, I probably would have run that one back. But that was a beautiful show.
Yeah. No, we had a lot of fun talking to Cooper about that show earlier this year, and hopefully people checked out that interview or have checked out the show at the least. It's really awesome to see him sort of adapt his tone and his style to a series, because I think like the intimacy of television is a really good match for how he likes to write character. So,
Hell yeah.
great show. Hal
Very
Harper.
Good. The boy.
Okay, my number 7 is a bit of a left turn, at least from the shows that I normally put on lists like this, but I'm going to go with the British panel show Taskmaster. If I'm being honest, it's the show that I've spent the most time watching this year.
Nice.
I got into it because Jason Mantzoukas joined for their 19th season. I find him hysterical. He was hysterical. 19th season. And I've gone back and been binging it. Basically, I missed maybe 5 seasons in the middle there because there's like a lull. But I think that the last 2, 19 and 20 that they put out this year were both like excellent shows. Damn. The basic idea of this show being like, what if we take a bunch of really funny people and make them do really impossible tasks, and they don't have to try that hard to be funny because they're just natural exasperation at the circumstances will produce comedy. And I've just found it to be like the most comfortable end of day watch possible. Like it's just, there's such like a communal atmosphere to it. It's really silly. It's not, nobody's taking themselves seriously. They're asked to do things like order a pizza from a pizza place without using the words pizza, pepperoni, toppings, anything like that. Like it's a bunch of just absurd type of tasks. And you know, if you get like a just charming enough group of comedians on the panel, it's going to be hilarious. So I'd recommend, particularly for Americans, maybe try starting with either season like 9 or 6, I think is the one with James Acaster. That's really good. But it's just a really fun hang. And especially if you're looking for something that's like low stakes, not a tough barrier for entry, I could not recommend much better than Taskmaster. So for seasons 19 and 20, I'll give it a nod as number 7 on my list.
What'd you watch it on?
Every episode is available on YouTube.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, makes it very, very easy. Yeah.
Nice.
Holy smokes.
Very
nice.
cool.
Yeah, and they do a good
decent.
job of like doing like bloopers and deleted scenes and Q&As. So if you want to nerd out about it, it's very easy to nerd out about it.
Have you ever seen Impractical Jokers?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Would you compare it to that?
There's some similarities, but it's not like pranking people, right? Like there's still
That's what I want to make sure.
Yeah, it's not about pranks. It's not about like deceiving people. It's just about being silly.
Perfect. That sounds right up my alley.
Okay, nice.
I think you'll enjoy it. Let me know. I'm very curious. What do you have at number 7 on your list, Art?
At number 7, I have a recommendation that you had said early on. It seemed like it was going to be a tiny cartoon series on HBO Max coming from Adult Swim, and they just kept advertising it, which was really weird because it's about like no one needs to know about the secret mushroom in pharmaceuticals, and they're like, but you should watch this show on HBO, and I'm like, I'm so confused. Is this supposed to be hidden or not? And then Zach put it on his list, and he said, nah, bro, you need to finish this before the end of the year. And you know what, guys? I listen. Common Side Effects, Season 1, Adult Swim. An excellent excellent season 1 of animated adult television that I'll wait to speak more on Zach about, but just give you the basic premise. Like I said, a secret mushroom out there that could put all pharmaceutical companies to shame because it heals everything. So now everyone's after it.
It's a pretty fascinating show. Pretty fascinating show.
Very good.
We'll talk about it more later. Amanda, what do you have at number 7?
Yeah, I don't listen, so my number 7 is Shrinking season 2.
Dope.
I love it. Honestly, I don't even fully remember everything that happened in it right now, but I know I remember it being like, it felt like a significant up step from the first season, which I had already enjoyed. And I'm watching that show and it was like, yeah, I need to go back to therapy. So it's earned its place on the list. It really hit the feels. I'm just such a huge fan of Jason Segel and just his dynamic with everybody in the cast. And I feel like I finally see a role that Harrison Ford's happy to be in that is also beloved. I feel like the only time he likes things other than Indiana Jones, it's just when he gets a lot of money and gets to do cool things, whether people enjoy it or not. And he hates Star Wars. So this, I'm glad that there's something that he enjoys that's actually very good and very outside his wheelhouse. So I'm a big fan. Season 3 is right around the corner. Very excited for that. It's kind of become a little holiday tradition with Shrinking. So excited for it to be back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a big fan of Jason Segel and such a big fan of Jessica Williams as well. So I'm always happy to see them in a show that really knows how to utilize why they are so charming and why they are so fun to watch. And plus, yeah, having Harrison Ford as your like cranky older character on your sitcom is just such a spoil of riches. It's such a flex for Bill Lawrence, absolutely. Number 6 on my best TV shows of the year so far, I'm going with the only show here that I haven't finished its first season of. I'm going with Pluribus. I am
Higher for
really
me.
stunned by Pluribus so far. I mean, it's not a surprise that a Vince Gilligan show is like masterfully crafted, but this is a really masterfully crafted show. I know there's a lot of people who are pushing back on sort of the very gingerly pace of Pluribus, that it's a show that's really taken its time.
That's you? That's you?
How you doing?
Damn.
And I get it, because like he's a guy who really likes to take his time. There's Better Call Saul, the show that's ostensibly a prequel to Breaking Bad, where you learn about how he became Saul Goodman. They don't say the name Saul Goodman until deep into season 3.
That is true.
So like he is going to take his time with it, but I've learned to trust the journey. And there are so many exciting stops on this path with Pluribus that I'm just along for the ride. It has, as I've said before, the best pilot episode that I've seen in many, many years. And there's still just a lot of interesting stuff happening. So I'm imploring you, stick with it. It'll be worth it. I've learned.
What'd you get up to? Because I went up to 3 and... Well,
okay, you don't like it then. I'm sorry. If he made it to the 3rd episode and he's not on board,
that's what
he's not already hooked.
I'm just not as excited.
Yeah.
But I'm giving him the faith.
Yeah, I'm too beyond that.
I was in 3 episodes. These complaints people had did not even realize they were a thing until episode 7. So if you're there at episode 3, I don't think it's going to get better for you, but you should finish it, but...
Well,
do you think
I
it's
just need him to finish it? I need to know where it's going.
Yeah, do you think you're not enjoying it, or just you're losing patience with it, if that makes any sense?
I am not as enthralled with the characters in this show as I've been with the other 2 aforementioned shows. It's that simple. Am I wrong? I don't think that's a bad critique to say.
Misogyny.
There's also technically fewer characters to be enthralled by in this world, but
it still stands though.
We'll see.
But I trust his storytelling. This is him being able to do something as insane as this, a big sci-fi swing. He's switching genres. He's doing all that. So it's more so I'm being patient with it. That's it. But it hasn't hooked me yet. I don't know what the big pull is other than the concept, which I'm curious to see how that's all going to tie in.
That first episode didn't immediately have you like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was in from that first one. So
I mean, that's a trailer though.
Then I just don't think it's the show for you. Then if that first episode was just like, I don't know. Big fan.
We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. We'll have to revisit it once season 1's wrapped. It's already renewed for season 2, so we'll be getting even more.
Isn't tomorrow the end?
It might be.
We're just like a little bit too early. We might have to pop in here with like some little edits to be like, we were wrong. Or we were right.
Actually,
we were so right.
It sucks. All right. Well, we'll update with our thoughts on the rest of Pluribus in the new year. For now, I'm confident putting at number 7 or number 6, I guess, on my best shows of the year list. Art, what do you have at 6?
The last time we get to put this one on, at least with Natasha Lyonne. Poker Face Season 2.
Gotta catch
It
up.
has wrapped. It is over. They have canceled it, at least with her on Peacock, and have moved on to what they're saying is going to be Dinklage. Maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah. That's what they're pitching, at least.
That's what they're pitching, but they don't know the network. We got 2 seasons of a show called Poker Face that I had season 1 on the list, I think, a couple years ago. And then this one here, both fantastic. Pretty much like a little anthology where a woman who can pretty much read everything on your face, you cannot lie to her, is going on this journey where she's on the run after an incident that happens in season 1. And we've pretty much just... I don't know. We're just going cross country with her. I love how every single movie is a new mystery because everywhere that she arrives and she tries to make camp, something happens at a school where a kid murders a guinea pig, or someone dies during batting practice when she's working for a little league team. All of these fascinating things with really cool cameos. And I thought season 2 was still just as strong. You guys ended up telling me that what's his name? The head honcho.
Tony Toast took over, as showrunner.
Look, I thought he did a decent job. Without knowing that, there was still so many great episodes in this season that I really enjoyed, where Poker Face, I think season 1 may have been in my top 5, but I still had to fit this one in my top 10. Really fascinating stuff. Always really hysterical to see Natasha Lyonne just be Natasha Lyonne. And this had some really good cameos as well. And the store... I'm blanking on the episode, but the one that takes place in the store where it's like a Best Buy, and it ends up becoming like a love story for her.
Aww.
That was also a good one where I was like, wow, I could see this show going on forever. And guys, it's over. So Poker Face season 2 at number 6.
Yeah, I mean, even if I thought season 2 wasn't necessarily as consistent as season 1, it's just like they have these episodes that are really special, and the fact that they are able to kind of start fresh every week in a sense. It's a show that I'd love to have still around. There's so much clever construction there. You know, just speaking to the show's merits, like when it came back, I forgot the whole truth teller thing that she can sense a lie, and I just remembered it as a really cleverly constructed detective show. It's got that whole other element to it too, though, that makes it more fun. I'd love to see more Poker Face, whether that is with Natasha Lyonne, Peter Dinklage, or whoever Ryan Johnson deems worthy of leading the rest of the show. You think they're moving forward because Natasha Lyonne is doing her like AI projects now, and Ryan Johnson has been one of the most vocal anti-AI guys?
If that's the reason why, I'm fully on board with it.
I don't think so.
But who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, Poker Face, Art's number 6. I had that in my honorable mentions as well. Amanda, what do you have at number 6 on your list?
I moved some things around after talking, but yeah, I'm going to put Pluribus at 6 because, it's not done yet. So I think some of the other stuff I know is stronger right off the bat. But I didn't know what it was going into it. My friend kept asking, being like, have you watched it yet? Is it gay? And I was like, I don't know. So I didn't know anything about it. That's the only thing she cared about.
No,
she
it's
was like,
homophobic.
lesbians?
They kill her lover.
That's where I was too. But yeah, I had no idea what it was, and it gets started. And like, I'm not usually like on paper, if someone had told me the concept, I might not have actually watched it because like alien stuff usually isn't my jam. It's basically, and like hive mind stuff even less so. But I do find the way that he's engaging with the subject is so much more interesting than it could be, and it's just like the way they are as like a species of thing, and like just like the moral questions that brings up for the people that like don't fall under the hive of like what's real, what's autonomy, are people actually happy, is it even those people still inside those bodies? There's just like so many interesting ways to engage with it. And I do remember that when I found like when she says something, it's all like we can protect you from ourselves because we're not going to do anything, but we can't protect you from other people. And then it was like, oh my god, yeah, there's totally going to be people doing like weird shit, and sure enough you get like harem guy almost immediately. So it's very, I just like the way that it's engaging with it. So yeah, I really hope it sticks the landing for at least first season and then gets better as it goes because we know there's more coming. And I trust Vince, so we'll see.
Yeah, that whole Breaking Bad team, like they are just really great at a thought experiment. And for years, that thought experiment has been like, how does a science teacher turned drug dealer get himself out of this corner he's backed himself into? This is an entirely different set of circumstance, but I still find where their head's at to be really cool. Like one detail that I absolutely love from the first episode is the chemtrails thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's this idea that people have long conspirized about the idea of chemtrails, and then they do chemtrails.
They do chemtrails.
It's really cool. All right, starting off the top 5, I'm going to go with a show from a guy who has made one of my favorite shows. He's back with another adult animated comedy drama. This one is called Long Story Short, the new show from Raphael Bob Waksberg. And I think it's just an incredible piece of work. It is a show that tells the story of a Jewish family in a non-linear fashion. So I think when you first meet them, they're all like the main 3 kids are kids. And then the subsequent episode, they jump into their early 30s around, and then you jump back to their teenage years, and then you jump forward to them older, and you see the parents when they're alive and young, and then the parents when they're old, and one of them has died, and you get all these pieces to the puzzle of why this family has these elements of dysfunction and tumult within them, but you don't necessarily know the whole picture until you see more of the show. And not that it's like spelling out every detail for you, but there are so many ways in which the show is able to weave elements of these characters in that are so fascinating, so true, so resonant, and also just deeply funny. Like I find a lot of the interactions, aside from being like extremely relatably Jewish, to just be very silly in how they depict these sort of lovable but kind of toxic family dynamics. I find it to be really funny. I find it to be really heartbreaking, and I just find it to be really moving in a way that the dude who made BoJack Horseman is liable to do. So I really enjoy the show, and it's coming back for another season. I'm excited to see how they further expand the depth of this family dynamic.
I have it at number 12. Very
Nice.
close to coming in here. It's a fantastic show, really beautiful. There's one specific sequence where, like Zach was saying, they're jumping around, and it's the daughter trying to get a recipe. Great voice acting by Abby Jacobson from Broad City as well. Very good stuff, very good stuff. And it's about figuring out why can't she get, I'm blanking on the dish, but it's a specific like pastry
Kugel,
or
I
bread.
believe. Yeah.
And what it ends up being is that the mom made it differently. Not because of her own recipe, but because of what she liked, and it was more garlic. And she fixes it, and she goes, oh my goodness, the whole recipe was geared towards me. And the whole series is just beautiful moments like that, where you realize like what it is perspective-wise that you didn't know about your loved ones, and the way that the show jumps around allows you to see things in different ways. So I want to catch the show again, because by the end of it, I'm sure there are jokes buried in the first couple of episodes that you don't know about. So
Nice.
100%.
you just know he's always taking the time to craft things out and build a really big world, even though it's fake and animated. But there's so much reality in it. Very good show.
100%. What do you have at number 5, Art?
At number 5, The Bear Season 4. Hanging in there.
Nice.
This was my number 11.
All the push and pull that season 3 got, and we get it, rightfully so. Very much mimicked the show, where they were so focused not on the beef stand that everyone liked, but all this fancy schmancy stuff. I think they kind of leveled it out by season 4. They read a review that felt like a review of the show, and then took it with stride. I thought Ayo, a lot of people liked Ayo's scene in the hospital, thought it was decent. I loved Ayo's scene in the finale, when they were finally hitting it off and going back and forth. The thing is, like, I pass Zach knows Mr. Beef all the time. So that finale scene, like Alina does not poop there. My dog poops there. so it's like, it's in an area where it feels so real, and they're having the most honest discussion that's spanning these characters even before season 1, because they're going back to flashbacks of, a major character who has passed in the series that kind of started the whole thing. And I thought they were able to bring it back in for what it was supposed to be about. Crazy enough, the beef stand gets a recurring guest character who was going to franchise The Bear, and it's not possible anymore. Rest in peace. Rob Reiner, who comes in as that guest actor. I don't know what they were going to continue on with his character, but it seemed like that was going to be pivotal. So we'll see how they carry that forward to season 5 and such. No, it's massive. It's huge.
Yeah.
So to pay the respects right there, and to just, highlight The Bear season 4, always adding new characters, always adding new storylines, even within storylines. Like, you know what it is. It's still a restaurant show where they're all family and they're crazy and they're doing all that. But I think they're always able to give you something character-wise that you care for. And story-wise, I'm still invested. How are they going to continue this Bear thing? Bear season 4, still looking for season 5. Very good to see them. See the group back.
Yeah, season 4 was definitely a nice return to form for The Bear. I really thought that last episode was going to be a finale. It feels so much like a series
It
finale.
feels like a goodbye.
Yeah.
Y'all can wrap it up from here.
Yeah. But it is an excellent episode, so I'm curious to see how they try to pick up the pieces from that one.
Yeah.
But definitely back in on the bear for sure. Amanda, I think we're
At my 5, yeah. I assume this is probably going to be higher probably on both of your guys' lists, but I have the Pit.
No.
still coming
No,
up
no,
on
no.
my list.
Okay.
It's at the bottom.
Really?
Bit at the no, bro. Come on, it's the Pit.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm a big fan of Michael Crichton, and they I think litigated the fact that this is too much like ER to get around it, but because you even got Noah Wiley,
Yeah.
it's different, but it's
I think
good.
they're still
Bro,
litigating it, but like
I think
They
are.
say
It's hard to
say ER, bro. They need to go to jail.
Yeah.
Put them in there with the
jail.
together
It's
couple.
crazy.
Let's go. This is unacceptable. But who
Big
cares?
fan.
Because it's so good.
It's so
it's
good.
fantastic. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I blew
This
through
is
it all
my
in like
number
a day.
3. Yeah.
Nice.
My
Yeah,
number 3. Alina's number 1. Zach was doing
So good.
real shifts. I think he did all 18 back to back.
Did. I
He
remember
got
they were
pitted.
watching it when we were at South by.
South
You
by.
know?
I didn't
we
want to
were going
wait
Prem-
until we left.
We were.
Yeah.
We were. It was weird, right? Because we were at the Paramount. We're like, Zach, put the iPad away.
Put it away, man. Put it away.
The movie's on, and then he's wondering why a security guard can come up to him.
Yeah, it's like Matthew McConaughey is in this audience, man. Like,
but
Sir,
he's not
you
on the
have seen
Pit.
he's not,
He's not on the. Yo, imagine. That would be
yet.
fire.
Yet.
No, this is the
No,
one
it's
that's been
good.
winning everything.
It's solid. Solid as hell.
Yeah, it's very good.
I got the Pit at number 1.
Yeah, we'll
it
talk
was
about
my
it
number
later.
1 in the mid-year. I don't need to hide it.
You rewatch it after again?
Yeah, it's been like I don't know what to watch. I kind of want to watch something familiar. I've been throwing on some episodes, especially now that we are just a couple weeks from the return, season 2. Figure out what all
up
my
with
friends are doing.
They work harder than the damn the workers on the show, dude. That's an
Yeah.
insane flip. Because these
Yeah.
aren't like 10, 12 episodes. These are.
Yeah,
they
it's
go
gonna be back
long.
for another 15, I think. That's some good work, and that's some old-fashioned TV right there.
That's a lot of Sundance screenings. Zach's about to skip. I'm gonna be
remind
watching
me.
the games. I'll be watching the Bears on Sunday, and you'll be watching the Pit.
Pit,
Let's go.
100%.
I'll be with Zach.
History of concrete is playing.
I'll be with Zach.
That's funny. Oh no, you're
Yeah.
supposed to be at a Sundance screening.
Fuck, you're right. I'll be there.
We'll catch it at night.
Yeah, I was the only one who didn't skip a screening for the fucking Oscars one year. I'm in it.
What screening? What'd you go to?
To be fair, I saw the TV Glow a second time.
TV Glow a second time at South by.
In
That
the
don't count.
pre-party. So I could express my gratitude.
Who's your favorite Pit character? Opposite Wiley, though.
Probably Noah. Like, yeah, Wiley. It's, you know.
Second to Wiley, though, because obviously he's the big head honcho there.
I got to
He's
rewatch
fire.
it. I don't actually know.
I'm going to say Cranston's daughter.
Taylor Dearden is her name. Dr. Melissa King. She's such a great character. I really enjoy her. I think she's doing excellent work on the show. I also really like the character Victoria Javati, played by Shabana Aziz. All the young
they're pretty
attendings
good.
and interns are really solid. And
Yeah.
we'll be curious to see how the show handles them, because they are
Yes.
trying to like age the characters up and stuff like that too. I don't know. It's a fascinating show, and I think the thing is that like every time a new character shows up on the Pit, within 5 minutes I'm like, oh my god, I love you.
Yeah.
Let's get a whole episode about you.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
So true. Oh, mine's the nurse.
You're talking about Nurse Dana, who's played by Catherine
Yes.
Lanasa. She's
love
also
her.
great on the show. She got an Emmy
Fantastic.
nominee, I believe, for the show.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So the Pit. It's Amanda's number 5, Art's number 3. Did you say?
Yeah, 3.
And my number 1. I think we're back to my number 4, which I anticipate is also going to show up a bit later on others' lists. I have The Studio.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Art, do you want to just go ahead with your number 4?
Number 4 is Hacks, season 4, which you had mentioned a little bit prior. I was looking at it. I had it at 5. I almost thought about bumping it down to 6, and then I went, no, this is Hacks. Hacks has been an all-time top 5 for me, and it's not changing with 4. I think it'll go all the way to 5. Like Zach was saying, it feels like they restructure the relationship every season. It's mentor-mentee. You meet the daughter, and then you realize, like, damn, is she substituting you for the daughter? That's very unhealthy. Like, and it always gets unhealthy. It's like they put something, and they realize that is actually, are we lovers? Nope, that would be way worse. So now that they go back into trying to be peers this time around, taking pictures together as they run the Tonight Show, and having to decide what guests are they going to allow? What slippery slopes are they going to cut out, censor, to appease whoever comes on as a guest. I think they've evolved it. Like Zach said, like it's not as fresh as the first season, but I still like every season equally, and I don't know how the hell they do that. It's because of the dynamics and where they put them. They end up in another country by the end of this one. So I can't recommend it enough. I'm always putting it on there. Hacks season 4 had 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the top 5, and it remains here.
There is a world in which Hacks just stays in Vegas for the duration of its show, and it would still be really interesting to just get Deborah Vance residency in Vegas, the nightlife and how it is like living as a permanent resident there. Yeah. Like that would be a great show. But Hacks' dedication to just ripping the premise up and starting new every year is the thing that helps keep the show interesting and helps find new dynamics. So you got to trust them, I think, on that count. Amanda, I think we're at your number 4.
Yeah, my 4 is the Bear 4.
Cool.
Pretty much everything you already said. I wasn't even one of the people who had a lot of the issues that people found in season 3. I still really enjoyed the process. I really liked the scenes of just watching them make things. But yeah, season 4 definitely like balances a little bit better. We get some kind of return character dynamics, a little bit more with Molly Gordon going on here. And then, that ending it could have worked as a total finale. Disney doesn't like letting go of things. And I'm okay with that here. I do trust that they'll be able to like end out something strong. I'm a big fan of Io. Yeah, no, it's like a show that it's very chaotic, but I frequently go back and rewatch like the first handful of seasons. So I'm, hoping, I assume, hoping that I like the next season just as much, and it manages to close out strong. But it was strong enough for me that I'm gonna keep it at 4.
We and many people have been giving the Pitt a lot of credit for being old-fashioned TV and coming back after a year, but the Bears kind of been on that for a while. They have been producing seasons pretty frequently. I don't know how long we're gonna wait for that next one, given that like Io is now in every auteur director's movie, and Jeremy Allen White had spent a whole bunch of time playing Springsteen and is apparently in Mandalorian and Grogu for some reason.
Oh yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah,
he's got a weird name. He's Jabba the Hutt's son, right?
Yeah,
that's him.
Evan Ross Bacharach is the Thing. They got a lot of talent to wrangle now.
It's true.
He's gonna come in with the voice.
Yeah.
For season 5, come in with the mocap suit. All right, so those are our 10 through 4. Before we get into our top 3s, let's talk about some honorable mentions, because I got a few here that I want to at least give a shout out to. I mentioned that The Bear was my number 11. I had it on the list this morning, and then I shifted it. But yeah, still strong. I use any opportunity I can to bring up Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, the show that is single-handedly trying to save the American talk show. I love the chaotic energy he brings to Netflix every week, and I hope
It makes me laugh when I read it on IMDb. The first ever celebrity sit-down on late night. Ever.
Ever? I don't know, maybe this side of the Atlantic Ocean for sure, but it's got its own unique thing going on that's a little bit Chris Gethard, a little bit Graham Norton, but a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. The 4 seasons, Tina Fey's show on Netflix. I wanted to bring this up when we did our mid-year, and I completely forgot, because not only do I really like the show makes me think a lot about the two of you, because it is about a group of friends who go on vacations together and sort of the evolving dynamics between these people who've known each other for a long time. And I don't know.
They all die in the finale, Amanda.
You know what? I'd be happy to go out. Bear. I'd be happy to go out. We've had a good run, boys.
Yeah. Maybe this will be our last Sundance for multiple reasons. But
it was very weird. He goes, finish it, and they go to Sundance in the finale, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Oh my God.
It's like a Toy Story 3 finale. They're all holding hands.
That's just what I picture for us. You know, it's a really sweet show. It's not quite as like laugh a minute as Tina Fey's other sitcoms, but I think like it is really relatable and warm and still very funny with a great cast: Steve Carell, Will Forte, and other Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo,
yeah. So, highly recommend. 4 seasons on Netflix. I'm assuming somebody's going to have Adolescence, which was obviously the huge Netflix show this year. Missed my cut. Have Righteous Gemstones season 4, not its best season, but still just like an absolutely hysterical show from Danny McBride that has some of the like most hilarious single lines, just incredible combinations of words that have never been combined before that team decided to do it. Poker Face Season 2, Tires Season 2, and Severance Season 2. A bunch of shows that were good, but not all the way where I wanted them to be in their second run. Art, any honorables you want to take care of?
Yeah, some of the ones that you had said, I'll double up there. I'll go Mo Season 2. A little bit more sad than it can be funny. I'll still take it, but there's a balance you sometimes got to hit there. That's why I don't think it was as good as Season 1. Forever, also on Netflix, it was the take on Judy Blume's book. They kind of Gen Z'd it, and they had a couple good actors in there, Lovey Simone, and I don't know the guy, Michael Cooper Jr., but I thought it was pretty cute. A nice little coming-of-age story as these characters get to know each other who knew each other long ago. And it seems like, I don't remember the book, but they're going to go for a Season 2. So that should be coming back as well. Pretty good YA series there. Some of the ones that you had said. Chair Company. I'm not hating on Pluribus. I'm just waiting.
Hater.
You know what? I did not get to rap. Or did you guys start Task? I saw the first
I couldn't
episode.
get into it. I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
It just seems like a bigger commitment than I was ever willing
And
to
that's
make.
it, yeah,
but I keep
again,
hearing good
Yeah.
things.
Same thing.
I made it
I
like
haven't
15
dismissed it
minutes
yet.
in, and I just couldn't.
15 minutes? Damn. Okay.
It was enough that I'll go back to it, but it wasn't enough to like catch my attention quick enough. So I was like, there's other things I could be watching and finishing right now. So I went there. I went to Chair Company.
I know it's our guy who did Jeremiah Zager. He's done a couple. He did that one that we like with Sandman.
With
but then he
Hustle.
went all the way back to We the Animals. So I wanna stick it out to see how he wraps that there.
Task is also written by Brad Inglesby, who's a really strong writer. I think he's the guy who did Mayor of Easttown, so he's familiar
yes.
with like
That is that
cop
one.
shows set
HBO too,
against the greater Philadelphia area.
Yeah. So I do need to give it another chance because I'm sure it is very good. I just I don't know. It didn't hit yet.
So that's one I just got to put a pin right there. I'm sure it's good. Just got to dedicate it to it. But one that's been my kind of go-to, I'll just put it on for a bit. I binged 4 episodes, and since then, like on a weekly basis, I'll go back to putting it on. The Runarounds, who we got to see live when we went to South by, and they had like a Prime event. We're like, we don't even know who these boys are. A year and change later, they finally released the show, and honestly, it's decent. Group of guys with just trying to start a band. You get it. Who's going to stay? Who's going to go?
That was this year's.
Was it this year?
That was this year's.
Yeah, it was this year.
Yeah, because last year's was
Gotcha,
Fallout,
okay.
so that was this year's. They're not that far off.
Who can keep track of time anymore?
Half a year later, they come out with the Runarounds, and I think it's pretty decent. You have all these secrets as well, because like they're getting advice from people around the town, and it's like, wow, like you really get me. Yeah, because that may be your father. I think that there are things in a lot of other YA stuff, like the Outer Banks and things that have never really caught my attention. There's just something about this one that's a ride. I would recommend it. Really fun show.
I'll give it a go.
Y'all had said Hal Harper and Tires. Welcome to Derry.
Oh yeah, I got to get into that.
How y'all feeling about? Okay.
I haven't yet. I'm really excited because everybody's saying it's good, so I got to get to it.
Horror weird, yeah.
I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm not like completely sold, but I'm intrigued. Like there's a lot of interesting elements. Yeah.
Platonic Season 2, I said, was very funny. We've been talking a lot about Connor O'Malley. But I told Zach, yo, Mr. O'Malley is married to a funny-ass lady, bro. She kills her scenes in Season 2. There's a couple lines that we've been saying. One has been Counselor Claire from I Love LA. We just say Counselor Claire all the time. Counselor Claire. And then we'll also say, I am for, what did she say? Cutwater's in. And these things are crazy. So,
man.
Long story short, and then I Love LA.
Platonic just slipped through the cracks for me. I keep meaning to go back to it. I've seen like 2 episodes from this season. It's so good.
It's just
I gotta get to it.
It's
I'm
the
excited.
exact same thing of what they've been doing. They're goofballs.
Nice.
They're great. I hope they keep that one going. I don't need it to pop off. Just keep making it in the back. I'll enjoy it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. On my end, I've got some stuff that you guys have definitely already mentioned. So Severance, Hacks, Death by Lightning, Overcompensating. Just missed the list. Like I probably could have doubled this one up with I Love LA.
Great.
I really like it. I think it's really good. It's solid. I'm excited for the next season. I think it really encapsulates because I'm pretty sure it's taking place in like 2008, 2009 is when they're in university, which is like the same time I was in university. So it kind of feels.
Charlie XCX exists.
Yeah, that's when Boom Clap and stuff. I think 2011 maybe. It was like in the range. I know it fell somewhere in the range that I was in school. I think it was 2011. But either way.
Yes, because of the who did you talk to? The poster. His poster.
The poster. Yeah. But he's got the poster. But Megan Fox. Yeah. So it's like it was right. It was right in the peak of all that. So like I like it for that, and it feels cozy, but it feels very modern too. But
he's got the Megan Fox poster to pretend he's not gay to everybody, but he really has it because he's really gay, and that's his queen.
That's his queen, exactly. Like it's all full circle. So really big fan of that one. I'm sure this one's going to show
Prime.
up on. Yeah, it's on Prime. You said Netflix. I meant to correct that. No, somebody said Adolescence. Sorry, Adolescence is on Netflix. That's on my list here as well. I'm putting The Rehearsal here. I'm sure that might be on someone's list. And Department Q, which was on my list before.
Right.
I feel like I need to go back to it because it's just like I think some other things kind of overpowered it, but still a very strong show by the creator of Queen's Gambit. So definitely worth checking out.
I keep hearing good things about Department Q. I like couldn't get into the first episode, but I'm putting it as a me problem, not a show
Absolutely.
problem.
Yeah, I get that.
I've heard too many good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
What would the me problem be apart? Department Q, Zachary. The Netflix lighting.
Yeah, that's that. Let's call it the Netflix lighting. It's definitely
You know,
the
they keep
Netflix
using
lighting.
those damn lens.
That was the problem with Frankenstein. Anyway, getting into the top three.
You gotta say it out loud. You're not wrong.
He's getting all those technical specs, and I'm like, but Wake Up Dead Man was right there, guys. It was right there, same studio.
You had you sometimes ask the question, is there something that we missed that we never even started? And there's one show. There's two shows. I'm forgetting what the Criterion one is, but I have to mention Asura. Asura is out on Netflix, and it is literally an entire highest rated Corey Etta directed show, and I have not
Corey
started
Etta.
it.
Yeah.
Bro,
Oh my God.
like what?
This is a show that I completely forget exists until you bring it up on this podcast once every 5
time.
months.
So I had to do it again. So let me check it off and now continue.
Yeah. Was there one more? Is Asura and something else, or?
I'm blinking on the Criterion one. Something blossoms.
Oh.
Maybe that'll trigger it, or someone will say it in the comments. It's something blossoms, and Criterion picked it up because everyone's going crazy on Mubi, Criterion. They're all like, we could do TV shows now.
Blossom Shanghai.
Then that should be it. Because I know it's a massive director. That's why I was comparing the two.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, Blossom Shanghai.
Hey, big stuff for Mubi. Mubi made a top 10 show for Amanda. Mubi also had another New Year's Eve show that was from a big director. A lot of festival directors.
Yeah, having a good run. Yeah, good run.
I like it. So when Zach was asking early on, what has changed? We're in that new era now.
Mm-hmm.
Got some. Well, that's the thing. We do have a more thriving indie TV scene. I know the Duplasses are working on it. Hal Harper was an indie TV show. So, yeah, interesting to see if that has any impact on our future best of lists going forward. As for right now, getting into my top three, I have The Rehearsal, which Amanda had in her honorable mention, season 2, the latest experiment from Nathan Fielder. I think more than any other show on TV, when you tune into a new episode of The Rehearsal, you have absolutely no idea what's going to happen.
True.
You never can predict where Nathan Fielder's mind goes, whether that is going to be a recreation of the life of Sully, in which he plays a diaper-clad baby Sully, mustache and all, or if it's him flying a 747 as a way to prove his experiment right. This was just such a daring season of television that took what was a already really interesting idea and widened the scope and saw what else is possible within this lens. And I think, to me, he's made something that's more accessible and more universal than even that first season was, because it's about... Yeah,
and vulnerable.
It's not only timely, but it's something that I think anybody who has found themselves in a kind of work relationship has elements they can relate to, for sure, around the ideas of, anxiety and inability to express yourself and all sorts of things that he tries to articulate through this incredibly bizarre comedy. I just am so tickled by the show. It makes me laugh like nothing else. I think Nathan Fielder's got to be one of the biggest geniuses in entertainment, and this is just a sterling example of why. Rehearsal. Art, not making your top three?
My number 2.
Okay.
Yep.
So then what is number 3?
Number 3 would be The Pitt, which all have mentioned. Mentioned my favorite character.
Right.
Excited to see that one come back. Very solid show.
Nice.
And, if it wasn't for these other two just hitting in different ways, The Pitt, without a doubt, is the best made out of these top 3 that we're discussing.
It just functions like a grandfather clock.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
perfectly
consistent.
tuned.
Yeah.
Amanda?
My number 3, this is a trend now, is White Lotus season 3.
Ooh.
It just hits for me. I'm a big fan. That it was airing at the same time as Severance, and everybody was into Severance, and I just could not make myself care about what Severance was doing to pull myself away from White Lotus. Again, Severance is not bad in season 2, but with the ending of season 1, I expected it to hit the ground running. I was expecting us to get into some crazy stuff out the gate, and then it's more meandering. I felt insulted.
Well, they stayed running. Just who knows to what.
Exactly. I didn't like it. I was like, no, I feel like like the way that you feel about Pluribus. I'm like, I feel like you've ruined my good graces. I gave you the first season and so many years in between.
That's the problem, is that it's too many years. I think I was the last one to catch it from the group. But I remember that was that one episode you guys were hyping up during South by with his wife.
That one's
they
the
had
best
like
one.
that whole flashback.
That's so good.
That was very good. So
That's
it's like
good.
it's still there, which is why you guys keep mentioning it still in your honorable mentions. But you could hear the disappointment
But
of
that
like,
should have been
nah,
like
you were the one.
episode 2. That should have been episode 2 after we do a bunch of crazy stuff when all the reveals of the last episode of the first season happen, instead of just like pulling. It's not bad. Again, it's one of those things that I'm like,
slump.
it is, I'm like, it is still technically some of the best made television that we have, but it's so disappointing for specific reasons, so that it's more upsetting to me when it lets me down. But White Lotus season 3, I love those characters so much this time around. I love Amy Lee Wood. Love her. She was fantastic in Sex Education. Big fan of her here. Walton Goggin was fantastic. I love the entire family with Parker Posey and all that. Like, again, the lorazepam thing, the tsunami. It's like, it's just iconic. It made me happy. So that's why White Lotus gets the number 3 spot for me.
Nice. All these months later, is there a subsection of that story that stands out to you the most, a dynamic or a particular family?
It's the family. I love the dynamic between Amy and Walton. There's a lot of really good stuff there, but the whole family dynamic and everything that's going on with them, and the ways that it's like one person thinks they want this, but again, it really is like the facade of what that would mean and can't handle the reality of it. And then one of the other kids is like, but I do want the reality of that. Also, I just feel very connected to it because I just happen to have like multiple shirts from that show. They must have a deal with Tombolo that they just get all of their shirts for both the actors and the people working at the resorts all come from that same company. Big fan. I like it, but the family really takes it. The whole dynamic and like just like the dad freaking out, and Patrick's fantastic. I can't remember the younger brother's name, but in real life,
Lachlan.
I just can't remember who else is an actor.
Sam Nivola. I don't know his name.
Nice.
Yeah, Alessandro Nivola's kid.
Okay.
He's got another famous parent, too.
That's why Nivola sounds interesting. Oh, my goodness. No way.
Yeah.
That's
Nepo babies all the way down.
Wow. That guy's like a character actor, dude.
Emily Mortimer is his mom. There you go.
Okay.
Emily Mortimer. She just wrote Jay Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he was in
wrote
White
Jay
Noise
Kelly?
before White Lotus.
A woman wrote Jay Kelly?
Well, co-wrote.
Okay.
Co-wrote.
Okay.
She wrote the parts for what's her name?
Oh.
Before she leaves
Laura
in the
Dern?
movie. Yeah, because Emily leaves with her. So Emily left with her. She goes, and we've written ourselves off.
And we're out. Okay, beautiful. But yeah,
she was right there.
Yeah, Sam Nivola was in White Noise before he was in White Lotus.
And his pop, he's from Jurassic Park 3. He goes all the way back. And Craven recently, but no, his dad's been around for a minute.
It's good stuff.
Brutalist too.
Big fan.
Wow, that's his son. He looks like him.
It's true.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Really excited for the next season. And it's also just a show when I go back and rewatch it, I seem to like more and more anytime, like every season. So yeah, big fan. Third place.
We've even mentioned the Carrie Coon and Leslie Bibb in them.
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't even mentioned what's her name coming back, because she's got that whole deal that she needs to do.
Because you got the
and
stuff
if the
with
deal doesn't
Gary, and you've got the stuff
with Gary. What's
Gary?
her name, bro? From
I can't remember.
Natasha Rothwell's character.
Yes.
She's one of the reoccurring ones from a previous season. Like, there's just so many things going on. We're not even talking about the security guard.
Yeah.
No,
oh my God, they were
there's
great
so much.
too. Yeah, that was great too. There's so much. I love all the dynamics.
How would you rank them?
It always changes because I remember I didn't originally like season 2 that much, but now I think I like season 2 more on rewatch. So I think it really just is a toss up. I think overall this one excited me the most while watching it. I think maybe season 2 sticks its ending a little better. Season 1 is just like really solid from start to finish. So it's hard. I don't know how to rank them, honestly. I'm hoping the next one's Snow.
Did they announce? I know that there's some rumors going around that it's going to be in France.
That's close enough.
It's going to be in Park City.
It's going to be in Cannes. No, it'll probably be Cannes.
Cincinnati.
It'll probably be on
they're starting to cast already
south of
for
France.
it.
Bring me
might not
on.
be too long till we find out.
If it's France, I can be one of the employees. Like, let me in.
And she's got the wardrobe already. You don't even gotta worry about it.
Yeah. I do. I literally, whatever shirt they want me to wear, I probably already have it.
Got it for the cast.
You'll be in France for Cannes. You can just swing by the set.
Just swing by, because I'm sure if it is in France, it has to be the south of France. Like, maybe they do Paris, but like I feel like if they're going for a resort, it's got to be south of France.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. White Lotus season 3. Amanda's number 3. Going back to my number 2, we've talked about it a little bit already, but I got Common Side Effects, the first season of the adult animated series that's airing on Adult Swim. I think it's just a show that really, I had almost no expectations going in, and it completely blew those expectations out of the water because it's a show where they just keep going deeper down the rabbit hole. It's a thriller, as Art mentioned, about the discovery of this new mushroom that has magical curative properties and the subsequent government conspiracy, big pharma manipulation to try to keep this magic new drug out of the hands of the common people. It is one part silly animated adventure, one part edge of your seat thriller, and one part like trippy mushroom-based animated show, and all the parts somehow function together beautifully. Not to mention that it has this really cool set of characters that are all really fun in their own right. The main character has got this kind of like Big Lebowski slacker
Hippie
edge to
looking,
him
yeah.
too. So you got a little bit of like, what is this guy doing in the center of a spy story? It is just such a interesting, mind-expanding time. I'm a big fan of shows where I feel like I can't predict their next move, and the way that Common Side Effects just rips through plot, it reminds me a little bit of a very different show, but Barry, the Bill Hader assassin show
that's fair.
too, where like, you know, you think they find like a comfortable resting point for the plot, and then they rip that up completely and move forward with the story in a way that's more exciting. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited for it to return, and even though I think there's a lot of things about it that might not seem like quote unquote your cup of tea, try it, watch it. People, I think people will be surprised by what they take away from Common Side Effects.
I think it's just because it's an Adult Swim show. Like, putting Smiling Friends, like you can see a trailer to that. You know, like, hey, I don't know, that's a specific type of vibe. This is actually a lot more. I don't want to say the word nuanced, but like you just mentioned, this could be made into live action, no problem. They take advantage of animation, but Zach just mentioned Barry, and you could take, what's the bald guy in Barry? You could take that dude.
Anthony Carrigan,
Hank.
You could put him here animated, and it would work completely well.
Well,
like
he's got
DC's
that
been trying to do it
face.
too. It would work incredibly well because there are characters in here. The agents, I love the agents. I don't know what it is about them. I mess with their vibe heavily.
From the second they're introduced, dancing to that song, like
just dancing, and I was like, this doesn't feel like an animated introduction. This feels like a live action miniseries. How they would introduce their characters, and it's voiced by Martha Kelly, who you've mentioned a couple of times. She played the drug dealer in Euphoria.
Yes,
excellent voice.
So
Excellent
good.
voice.
Perfect for that medium.
Yeah, that cartoon looks like what's her name from SNL. She reminds me of Kate McKinnon, but it works in the best way possible. And again, the way that their storylines end up evolving, I think it's a really solid show. I think they can make it live action if they wanted to, but
100%.
they take advantage.
Feels like it could be on FX tomorrow, you know?
Easily. So I think that's a big push for people to check it out because it really uses the animation to tell its story, especially of this mushroom.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Common Side
also
Effects.
Ben Feldman. Right? Feldman? Yeah, Ben Feldman. 2 animated series on your list right there.
Yeah, I totally forgot that he's in the other one too. But he's great in Long Story Short.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I hope he gets live action again.
I've actually just been rewatching Mad Men recently, so I've been seeing him
And
through that
Me
too.
too, actually.
Hey!
Literally. Yeah, let's go.
Mad Men's
all right.
4K at number 1.
Honestly, it should be. It should be. Season 1, episode 5 of Mad Men, that's an all-timer right there. All right, Art, I think we're back to you for your number 2, which you said is The Rehearsal. Anything else you want to say about Nathan Fielder?
Yeah, I think it's better than season 1. I think he's able to really take this concept, like you're saying, the Fielder method, I believe is how he calls it, refers to it, and is able to use it for good, for comedy, for entertainment, all that good stuff. And I think he makes it more vulnerable. You know, there are moments where he realizes who's really attached to the show, which is kind of funny that we keep putting in the top 5. But there's a whole, like, he realizes what people connect to him. And he brings up things from the first season as well. I think he saw our best movies or TV of that year and a complaint that I had. And that's like one of the best episodes because he takes what was in the first season complaints of him using a kid to help with the show and then realizes how he could use the show to help the kids. And it makes for one of the best episodes there. And like you said, even some of the biggest things that they use for marketing aren't even my favorites, yet it's still the selling points of Sully and what he connects there. I love the moments where he's cloning dogs and he's trying to figure out why isn't the dog the same. And it's because they haven't fought to cause the dog to cuddle with you the way that they used to. And the relationships that happen in acting. For a moment, are you able to enter a realm where it's okay? And like you were mentioning, how he uses that for pilots and people at work. I think it's we're not even getting into the American Idol stuff that he's not only getting into as an employee who used those tactics and now using it on his show, but even the history of him as a comedian. And I thought it was very interesting. A lot of times you have people making content going about like, what am I? Am I being taken seriously? And they come off very cringy. And there's somehow a method that he does where he dives into the cringiness instead of trying to be cooler than it, and it works so well. He topped it. I did not think he'd be able to top it. He topped it easily. It's not even close. Number 2 of the year.
Yeah,
for me.
He's a singular genius. There's nobody else whose mind is working like that. It's such a privilege to watch. Amanda, what do you have at number 2?
Shocking the most to me. I finally watched it because everyone said it was so good. Andor season 2. I caught up on all of Andor. It's fucking great.
Damn. That's all I
haven't liked Star Wars since, really liked Star Wars since Last Jedi, which some people are going to be like, that's fucking crazy too, but at least it was something. So this comes
Last
in.
Jedi is good.
And I don't the thing is...
Yeah, but what are we getting at? That you need to say, Phantom Menace to be okay?
I love Phantom Menace. I love Phantom Menace. The poster used to be behind me. It's somewhere. I love Phantom Menace. I love it. But Andor, I don't even like that character. I hated all the characters in Rogue One. So when I found out they were making a show about one of them, I was like, why? But you know what? They got me. They fucking got me. It's really good. It is just really good. It is so, for being something that is a Star Wars show, it is so prescient, it is so modern, it is so relevant to what's going on today. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get, the original plan was multiple seasons over years, and then this one really condensed it down. They do it great, but I'm like, I would have taken all the seasons and of all the things that they cancel, all the things they don't cancel and just drag out forever. Why did this one have to be the one they got rid of?
Out of everything?
Because it's good and people like it.
It's pretty long, no? It's like double-digit episodes per season, no?
Yeah. So it is more like traditional television, at least. At least.
But it hits in the quality of what seems like prestige television.
Yes, I would say. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it does. Yeah, they get the numbers, but they also have the quality for it, too. Big fan. It's nice to both enjoy something in Star Wars again, but also something that, doesn't have anything to do with lightsabers, and that's usually, if there's no lightsabers, count me out. So, I'm like, they got me here. They got me.
Do you think you need to see Rogue One before getting into these episodes?
No, because it's before. It's his journey into, well, obviously it has to be before.
Before you.
It has to be. It's his journey of getting to the point of where he is in Rogue One. Oh, so I don't think it actually makes a difference. I don't even think you need to have seen any Star Wars to enjoy this.
Oh. That's
probably.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big Star Wars person, but everything that people say about
But we've
Andor,
known, right? Yeah.
I think you'd enjoy this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's on my list. I will watch it at some point, but yeah, I'm glad that somebody could cover it for us because I know people really thought that second season was great.
Oh, they're both so good. It got me right from the first episode of season 1. I was like, why the fuck didn't I jump on this, man? This is so good.
Is there a character that stands out the most?
Probably him.
Andor? Is he Andor? Because I always get this wrong. I thought Andor was the place. He's Andor?
I think it's I can't remember this because it's been a bit. His name is Cassian, but I want to say he picks that name because he's from a planet that he can't use his actual last name so that people would know who he is. Let me double check this because Last
Cassian, question: is the Rogue One actress in this at all, or do they technically not meet until Rogue One?
They don't meet until Rogue One.
Fascinating. Damn. Yeah. Not even by accident. Did you not in the back?
I don't like her. That's my unreasonable. I both as a character and my unreasonable thing is that for some reason I don't love Felicity Jones. If I met you in person, you're probably amazing. You're probably amazing. I probably do, but I'm just
Claire Foy was sent to get rid of her, and she's working little by little.
She's just running overtime to here, usurp her.
All right, but that's good. I know Andor's been one of the ones that's the horses. One of those really hefty. They're in multiple seasons, a lot of episodes, but everyone's just been saying you just got to give it the time. I also like when the creators came out. Who's the creator? Because it's Yusa Gilroy, right?
Yeah, Tony Gilroy
came out. I love him coming out and just going like, I don't know about any of that other stuff. I'm like, damn, all right, you already got me in.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it takes to make a truly great show within IP like that.
I like Gilroy because he specifically made the decision not to bring Felicity Jones in to honor what they did with Rogue One. Because it's like, we're not going to be that show that just starts putting people places they don't belong. Like every other Star Wars show. Like I was so excited for Obi-Wan. Find out that like Leia's in it. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Get out of here.
You ever finish Acolyte? I know that one got too much controversy. I
did not even start it, but I was excited for Acolyte, but I didn't even end up starting it.
That one also got us excited because Kogonada was in it, directing an episode, and Russian Doll.
Leslie Headland, I think, was
from Russian Doll and stuff.
Pachinko, yeah. I was like,
no, Pachinko.
Is it not Pachinko?
Manny Jacinto.
I was like, it's not Pachinko, but you said Kogonada, and I was like, not the same.
But Kogonada also doing that too. But he was fantastic in the show, from what I saw visually. But people just hated the story in that.
But that's the thing that's a bummer because it had so much promise. They just squandered everything. So I'm glad that at least Gilroy was in there to do something.
And then we're not even mentioning Skeleton Crew with like not a nobody. It's what's his name? True. Young Pope, young everything.
Jude Law.
Yeah,
Jude Law. Like I don't get how they do these things. Like it's
crazy.
You butch? At least
anybody particularly excited for that Mandalorian and Grogu trailer?
No.
Every time it plays in IMAX, I'm like, what are we doing here? We need to stop playing these streaming services.
Wait, is it playing? Is there a trailer?
There is an IMAX trailer that plays everywhere.
Well, I don't have IMAX,
every screening.
Don't see it.
But they should have the regular trailer out. They're really trying to push the movie. And it's the opening turn off your phone for us now.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So you're going to see that for another 4 months.
Shit. Yeah, I haven't been to a movie other than the Housemaid in a while, and obviously that wasn't going to play.
Is Baby Yoda ever going to grow?
Well, to be fair, Yoda's like hundreds and hundreds of years old, so it takes a while.
Okay, because they got this boy keeps showing up like he's Andy Milonakis. Is he not going to age at all?
They can't let him age. They can't. The show's got to finish before.
It's ridiculous.
The movie's got to finish before he has a chance
Pedro Pascal's going to be on his deathbed and he'll barely be a preteen.
Oh, bro. Yeah. He already looks like a football. It's like Stewie up there. This boy's never going to age, dude.
Oh, man.
You finished Mando?
No. Once I was like, you're now just using this as a sounding board for other shows, I'm so much less interested in this. Like...
Well, I'm glad Andor was good because we're back to the Mando and the Grogu's and that.
Andor's so good.
Good Star Wars is now over.
Yep.
Antsy.
My number one, we mentioned it before. I had it as my number one in the mid-year video that we did as well. I have The Pitt. The Pitt's great. The Pitt is what TV used to be and what it hopefully can be once again. Just want to spend all my time hanging out at the ER. Not a sentence that I say very often in my life, but with the gang from The Pitt, it's a good time. So I'll be talking about it a lot more when it's back 2 weeks from now.
You got to watch Adults. There's a scene where they go to the hospital and he gets to know everybody. He goes, what the hell? Is this a nice place? I just get along with people. I love the ER. That is Zach every time he watches The Pitt. I'm going to find a gift of that and send it to you. I'm excited for it to come back, too. It's going to be good.
Yeah, same. Art, you got the studio number one?
I think we both do,
The studio at number one. Let's talk about this because I want to say it was one of y'all who had pitched it. We all know what the studio's about. A group of people saving cinema as these producers who believe that they're not just the people giving the money and overseeing to help make projects. They are the lifeblood of these projects. They are damn near artists themselves. Very meta. So many actors playing themselves. So many celebrities and producers. Snyder gives a speech making fun of himself towards the end. They take place in the Golden Globes. I want to talk about season 2. Were y'all the ones who had pitched that idea that they're going to do a whole episode during a standing ovation?
I think so, because he was at the Venice Film Festival scouting, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
They believe a whole episode's going to take place on a 20-minute standing ovation. And I got goosebumps, bro.
So exciting.
I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm putting the stock in this show. Because they're going to make... I already think they've made leaps like that in these Warner episodes. And bringing in Scorsese. Yeah. The Ron Howard episode is dumb. Like, why is the Ron Howard episode number 5 on the show, bro?
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with season 2. And they balanced it well. One of the biggest things we talked about, and is a big through line for me, is the characters. And these are characters that play people that we have seen, we have been. And they did not feel like it was trying too hard to emulate something, especially with the younger actors that they had on the show. It felt like they really became them. It really felt like they can ad-lib off of this because they're spending their times on Letterboxd as well. It's a great show. I've loved it since we've seen it. I think I was watching some studio while Zach was watching The Pit at South by because that's where it had premiered. And I've loved it ever since.
So good.
This is the one that I've seen a couple episodes just in the background as well, and they're hysterical. They knocked it out of the park.
It's so funny, like the Ice Cube stuff, and then we get War of the Worlds.
I was about to say, I need that movie.
We get, and then we get War of the Worlds, and I was like, no shot. No shot. This man accepted both things. Like, only he can get away with that. It's
and
crazy.
Ice Cube's coming out in one more thing by the end of the year that they're now spoiling in trailers. I'll just leave it at that. But Ice Cube has been busy, dude.
Let's go.
That man is busy. And his Dodgers won. So Ice Cube's been having a great year, even when it's a bad year. But the studio, Apple TV Plus, my favorite. It's the two for Zach's number one and my number one have usually been split between best comedy and best drama. TV, one of the very rare where they actually pit them against each other. But in this case, it's 2-1 for the studio, Amanda. Take it away.
We go. It's just good. It's just good. Everybody in that show is amazing. Like the way that Seth Rogen is just genuinely trying to be an artist, but also trying not to lose his position. And like you get like Sarah Polley. He's on set for a Sarah Polley movie. Like, come on, man. And then it's just the way that he can't grasp that, like, him being there is not a good thing for them in the creative process, and like why he's seen as like different now. He's other, and but he wants so badly to be seen as like on their level, and they're all just like, this is just who we have to keep happy. But he wants to be them so bad. And then like the Zac Efron stuff at the end, I'm like, it never ends. Like the fact that they managed to get all these people to be themselves.
Ted Sarandos from Netflix. It's crazy. Like,
it's like,
damn,
it's
if only we could get a Ted Sarandos from Netflix. And then they just get him.
They get him. That's what I mean. The fact that they could get all the people and they're down to do whatever was like so cool. So it wasn't like, that's supposed to be this person.
I don't know if either of you heard that apparently Apple pitched Tim Cook for that episode, and they stood firm that it had to be Ted Sarandos. Because that's a very different connotation. And Ted Sarandos was the right person for that part.
Absolutely.
Funniest part is that at the Emmys, Cook is just sitting there, not smiling, until he says, and thank you, Tim Cook. And then he smiles, and I'm like, there's no way. They just did the episode in real time.
Yeah. You both mentioned a lot of the cameos, and like cameos are a thing that a lot of TV shows, especially in the like prestige era, have been able to incorporate. So like just having cameos alone is not enough. The studio is doing cameos so much better than every other show out there. It is finding ways to use these actors either like so against type or so parodically in type that it's just a constant farce. It's so hysterical. I love that they are using kind of the visual language of Birdman, that kinetic spilling from one scene to the next thing that keeps you trapped in the anxiety of that moment. Because really, this is like a cringe-inducing anxiety nightmare show in a lot of ways. Yeah. But ultimately, it is that thing that you're talking about, Art, where he's this guy desperate to be seen as cool, whether that's by people outside the industry or more specifically the cool people within the industry, the movie stars and the legendary directors that we all look up to. And ultimately, he's riding this balance where he wants to be accepted by them, but he's the money, and he's the one who's got to be the bad guy sometimes. And we know producers to be the bad guys of this industry. So every time that Seth Rogen's character fights against that, you know it's just sort of like he's inevitably going to have to let himself down. I think it's
but then he also lets other people down by not just being the straight shooter. If you just come out being like, it's not going to happen, then everybody would be like, fuck, whatever. But the fact that he like gives them hope and then has to come back on it makes him seem significantly worse. So no one's going to want anything to do with him. It's so funny.
He's going to break bad by season 3. That's going to happen. The studio's going to get set on fire. But you're right. He brings in the Hacks creators. Lucia, I think is her name, and Downs, who is in the show. The fact that they are also introduced in there as like, Hacks is in this world, and you guys are like the cool ones who keep winning, and like, you're actually me because you're also in your show as the agent. Really funny to put those people on as well. Sarah Polley, who we had mentioned, was also a writer on that episode. But Zach, you remember when like Coda 2 or whatever they were doing in Barry?
Sean Hader? Yeah.
Come on, dude. When that happened, we were like, Barry, this is incredible.
Yeah.
This is the show.
Yeah, this is that like 5 times an episode.
Show.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
So
and I also am getting great mileage out of I know Dave Franco. It really worked out well for me.
Yeah. Would you say the studio is the show that you're most excited to see return then, both of you?
It's up there. I think there's other
Yes.
ones. There's
Yes,
other
White
ones.
Lotus.
Yeah, I was gonna say White Lotus. I'm like very excited to see where they go with it. But yeah, the studio is just like, I trust Seth Rogen. So if this is how they hit out the gate, like I can't imagine them not like being able to like keep it going strong.
But it's the worry of the fact that now everybody knows about it, and it used to be more of a now everyone's gonna beg to be on it, and it's like that's not the point.
But I think
the
I
first
think
season
they'll plan
people were
around.
more
I
novel.
literally think they'll be able to account for that, or be able to mess with the people begging to be on it enough that it like
invert it, use it to their
inverts it.
advantage, make a
Yeah.
story about it.
like Taylor Swift
fact
begs to be
that-
on it, and then something happens, and they do some weird shit with Travis Kelce, like. You know,
I wish. I wish.
The fact that they were willing in their first season to turn down Tim Cook of all people makes me feel like hopefully they can keep that energy going into the second season, like make sure the cameos are appropriate and well written and serve
who
the
they
purpose of
want.
the show. And it's the fact that I like Seth Rogen has been one of the defining comedic voices of our generation. Like
He's
watched him
decent.
now. We've watched him now in like for 15, 20 years almost. And it feels like this is the most like artistically challenging assignment he's given himself. He's really
and
pushing,
rewarding.
Yeah, and it's working out,
He
which
looks
is what's
fulfilled.
great. Yeah. But it's just great to see him like using all of his talents and all of the knowledge and connections he's gained through his time in the industry and pour it all into a thing that is so much fun to watch. And yes, it is a little bit like catnip for people like us who pay too much attention to movies.
And
but
we OD.
I think a lot of people watching us also pay too much attention to movies. So.
yes.
Shout out him. Platonic season 2, getting a mention. What was the other one that we not just Platonic? Actually, we did not mention this. Nobody Wants This in season 2.
Yeah, I haven't
he plays
caught
the
up with it
rabbi.
yet.
He's a cameo, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
he,
caught
got
up
the,
yet.
he plays the rabbi who's got like the super cool church, the
Nice.
synagogue that Spielberg visits.
Nice.
I'm excited to. I gotta catch up with that with my mom.
Yeah, he's been funny. My brother just rewatched Superbad and he goes like, "Yo, this man's been doing this for a while. When he chases after,
Literally.
what's his name? The fastest kid alive." Yeah, Seth Rogen's had a run, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, like,
He's
to
so
top
good.
yourself, that's what's crazy. You think you've seen the funniest Seth Rogen.
You
And then the
haven't.
studio comes in and it's like, yeah, Platonic, you love it. And that wasn't even close. This I adore.
Yeah.
This is, this is fantastic.
Are our favorite TV shows of the year. For me, my top 10 shows from 2025 are Hacks Season 4 over on HBO Max, Death by Lightning, the miniseries on Netflix, The Chair Company, its first season on HBO, Taskmaster, series 19 and 20, you can watch those on YouTube, Pluribus on Apple TV Plus in its first season, Long Story Short on Netflix, season 1, The Studio season 1 on over on Apple TV, The Rehearsal season 2 on HBO, Common Side Effects season 1 on Adult Swim, and then season 1 of The Pitt is my top show of the year, the HBO Max show. Or I guess it's an HBO proper. No, it is HBO Max. HBO Max.
Yeah,
Which one?
Max.
What,
The Pit.
Pitt.
The Pitt's HBO Max.
No way. It's not an original?
It's Max.
Not even an HBO original.
It's Max.
That's gross, bro. It can't get maxed. It can't get maxed.
Well, they got the bump up to TNT earlier this year. They started airing episodes linearly on TNT.
Ew, it's HBO Max. Ew.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, those are my 10. Art, what do you have on your top 10?
One, I want to shout out Abbott. We did not shout out Abbott. Abbott
Oh,
had a really
right.
great Sinners joke this year, so just there you go. Abbott, honorable mention, would have made the 10, but got to get that there. At number 10, over on HBO Max, we got The White Lotus Season 3. That is an HBO original. Continues to be one of the best casted shows. And it was very good. American Primeval over on Netflix. If you want a nice looking Western that they actually use better lenses on, when it comes to a Netflix series, check this one out. It is very good, really good performances, and it is nasty. My tie for my two really funny comedies under the radar, Adults on Hulu. Just people being goofy, thinking that they're better than they really are, and then Smiling Friends, people trying to help people who maybe don't need the help in a cartoon dealing with the craziest stuff possible. Common Side Effects, another Adult Swim HBO Max show that Zach also had on his list about magic mushrooms. Poker Face Season 2, farewell. Natasha Leone, you will be missed, but it is a fantastic show. Please give it a watch if you can. And, bro, the breast milk episode? I did some Googling afterwards. That is like an actual conspiracy ring going on with breast milk. insane. So you do learn things. And in my top 5, we got The Bear Season 4. If you're ever in Chicago, definitely go to all of the restaurants mentioned in the show. Hack Season 4. If you go to Las Vegas, go to all of the places mentioned in that show. The Pitt Season 1. Greatest ER in Pittsburgh. I've heard. Definitely check that one out. Rehearsal Season 2. Even better than Season 1. And The Studio, my favorite show coming from Apple TV+.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Amanda, your top 10 shows of the year.
Yeah, I've got I Love LA in the 10th spot, the Rachel Sennett-led comedy on HBO that's already been confirmed for a second season. Got Chair Company,
Nice.
which I haven't quite finished yet because, sometimes it's Tim Robinson can be just a little bit too much to make it through in one really long sitting, but it is a fantastic, quirky little conspiracy show. Again, feels a lot like Under the Silver Lake. And again, I think Art put it perfectly. If Tim Robinson isn't the weirdest, most concerning person in a room, that's really scary. So you get a lot of that in this. Then I'm going for the movie Hal Harper by Cooper Raiff, because we love the boy here. And I got Apple TV's Shrinking Season 2, the show that made me go back to therapy. We got Pluribus also on Apple TV, hoping for a really strong ending there. I've really enjoyed how it's engaged with its theme and premise. Then we get The Pitt, which is probably too low on my list, but it let me have some very clean next few. Yeah, actually, my top 4 is so clean for a certain reason. Pitt's fantastic. They've ever mentioned it. In my 4th place, The Bear Season 4. In my 3rd place, White Lotus Season 3. In my 2nd place, Andor Season 2. And in my number 1 spot, The Studio Season 1. So
beautiful.
a nice clean list there, but all of those are shows I highly recommend for various reasons that you've heard here today.
Excellent stuff. All right, a bunch of TV shows to check out if you haven't already. But if you have, let us know which ones you liked. Maybe let us know if you didn't like some of them. But I want to hear from all of the inner cuties that their top 10 shows of 2025 were, or at least your favorites. Let us know in the comments below. You could always email us, intercutpod@gmail.com. Reach out to us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok. We are at IntercutPod. That's at IntercutPod. And that is it for this edition of the podcast. You can listen to more episodes across podcatchers, and you can watch more on YouTube. You can find more from me, Zach Shevich, by following me on Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd at ZShevich, ZSHEVICH, and check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/multiplex show. Amanda, what's the last TV show you covered on your channel? You're more of a movie girl.
I am. I used to do a lot of TV shows. They just take longer to cover, so I don't frequently do it. But I think it was You Season 4 or 5, the finale of You, which just fits the channel. So I think that was the last thing I covered.
Did not make the list.
Channel. Did not make the list. For reasons.
For reasons.
I've got a lot of feelings about You. Most of them are fun and positive. There's things that happen. But yeah, that's probably the last show I've covered on the channel. I should do it more. It just takes so much time.
Yeah. Well,
it's harder to get other people to edit it too. It's easy to get a person to watch a single movie. It's hard to get an editor to watch an entire show.
5 episodes of it,
yeah.
It's 10 episodes.
Well, whatever you're covering, check it out on Amanda the Jedi. Art, what's the last TV show you covered? I feel like that's also been a minute.
TV show? TV show? I'm not exactly sure.
The channel has let me explain movies, so.
Yeah. That too. Well, it's just let me explain, but I guess my handle being LME movies for everything else.
My bad.
I gotta go. Probably Stranger Things that I'm working on right now. But again, Stranger Things is so long, and the thing for me with series is that you got another batch coming out. So what am I gonna do here that you're not gonna explain on the next one?
Yeah.
They just announced today that each one is gonna be over an hour long, and the finale is gonna be over 2.
So that's absolutely ridiculous. But I think that's the biggest part when covering TV shows like that. But have you ever covered a TV show on Multiplex?
That's a good question.
Zach always asks us. He always asks us. He goes, y'all haven't put something up, and I'm like, Zachary.
I had a lot of shorts out on Barry.
Okay.
That's
probably the most recent TV show that I mentioned on my channel.
Okay, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'll get on it. How about that? Well, we got plenty of TV coverage here on Intercut. Where you can listen to every episode of the podcast on iTunes, on SoundCloud, on Pocket Casts, on Overcast, which is what I do. And you can watch
on your TV.
Yeah.
Put us on your television.
Spotify's got an app, but YouTube, more specifically, has an app that makes it easy to just click it on. We're on YouTube as well.
And it's not called YouTube TV.
Yeah, that's a completely separate thing.
That's a completely separate thing.
Right. find new episodes of Intercut every Monday. Please leave a comment. Shout out to our listeners who are in the live stream. Those are the members and patrons giving us $3 a month to support what we do. You can also catch more across social media, as I mentioned before, as well as our Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description of this episode. And you can keep the conversation going throughout the week. Get updates from all of us on social media, as well as our guests. Those are the main things. I don't know. I kind of said things out of order, so I don't have my usual end of episode flow
That's
now.
okay.
So
I
think I'll just wrap it up with if that's all for this week's episode. And remember, Groundhog Day is not a documentary, but we're all living it.